Hello, everyone. We'll be back to our next episode at Scholars Path Africa. It's always a pleasure to have you here. To our loyal listeners, thank you so much for following and your support. And if this is your first time here, you're most welcome. And we please request you to like, subscribe to our channels. Scholars Path Africa is a platform that will be sharing the various academic opportunities, including scholarships, grants, etc. Yeah, I'm Immaculate, and I'm back in this episode. I missed you guys in the last episode, and I'm still joined by my two friends again, Rashida and Tifa. Please greet our listeners and welcome them to our episode.
Hello, dearest listeners. Welcome back to this episode of Scholars Path Africa. I'm Latifa, and I'm here to engage with you as usual.
Hi, guys. Welcome to this episode of Scholars Path Africa. We are so excited to have you back again. And we hope we are going to have a very informative discussion like we always do.
Okay, guys, we know many of our listeners are interested in getting scholarships to further their education, but they're wondering, where do I start from? Where do I look? What do I need? And in today's episode, we shall be letting our listeners know where to find these various opportunities and what do you need. So, guys, let us know if someone is looking for a scholarship, what are those places they would be looking at?
So, you've been having a dream of studying from abroad, and you're imagining your graduation in winter or in autumn, but you do not know how to get to that place. You do not know which offices or which places to visit. I'll take you through that. One, I'll start from the Ministry of Education offices, which are located at Nakasero Road. Yeah, so the ministry has bilateral relations with certain countries, and they have scholarships from countries like China, Algeria, Hungary. So anytime pass by the Ministry of Education, ask for any scholarship information, scholarship openings, and whatever is required to apply for those scholarships.
You can also check out their website in case you're too busy. You maybe live far from Kampala and you don't have the time to come to Kampala to check out their offices. Then you can check out the Ministry of Education website. They always post whatever scholarship is available at that moment. So always check out the Ministry of Education of Uganda's website.
There is also scholarships from embassies and high commissions in Uganda. For example, the Embassy of Japan, we have the mixed scholarship. The Embassy of France, we have the Campus France program. At the British Council, there is scholarships like Chevening, Commonwealth. We also have the Embassy of Turkey. They have a program which is called Turkiye Basilari. It offers students an opportunity to study in Turkey with various programs, medicine, dental surgery, and other courses.
Yeah. And while you can visit these embassies, you can still check also on their websites and social media platform. You can always find this information there.
Also, with the Embassy of America, the US Embassy, I think in Uganda it's located along Gaba Road, opposite Cavendish, the campus, that's Cavendish University campus. Endeavor to also check out. They have a department, it's called Education USA. So when you get there, they do information session first. Then after the information session, you can ask the questions, how do I apply? And there's always someone out there who helps you apply. Sometimes the embassy may not have the scholarship itself, but they know American colleges and universities that offer those scholarships, and they can guide you on how to apply for those scholarships and get. So you just need to go to Education USA. Usually go to the US Embassy, their website, you write an email to Education USA and ask for an appointment session or to attend one of their information sessions. When you get there, you ask all the questions that you need. There will be someone to guide you, someone to help you with the applications, and free of charge. You just need to attend one of their sessions and get the information.
Also, you can visit universities and institutional offices. You see, universities like Chambogo, Makerere, UCU have partnerships and they have scholarship announcements. For example, when you go to Makerere, the International Students Office, they can offer you the scholarships they have. Maybe you can be an exchange student. Maybe even if you're applying fresh to a new university to study abroad, it is very possible. So do not sit there wondering where to start from we have provided you with sources, with places, with who to talk to, with websites where you can find these scholarships.
We also have the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. Their head offices are found here at the Old Kampala Mosque, or what most of us call the Gaddafi Mosque. They offer a number of scholarships abroad and even within the country. So if you need any information, you can always go to Old Kampala Mosque and then ask for the Supreme Council officers and ask them about these scholarships. For those of you who can't travel to town to come to Old Kampala to ask those questions, in your districts you have what we call the district caddies. Those people have that information, because most times when the Supreme Council has those scholarships, it lets your district caddies know, so you can go to them and ask those questions. We also have what the Catholic Church scholarships. If you need any information about these scholarships, you have your diocese priests. Walk to them and ask them about the scholarships they have, because usually when the churches receive these scholarships, they let the different dioceses know we have this scholarship for this scholarship for that. So you have to be willing to walk to these people's offices and ask them these questions.
Talking about websites, we have scholarships from the Islamic Development Bank, and since Uganda is among the countries under that bank, you qualify to apply for that scholarship. Avoid sites which always ask for money, processing fees. The sites are always not authentic. Many of the scholarships are free to apply, or they tell you like you pay money after you've got the scholarship, maybe a little admission fees, and it's always between 50 to 100 USD. Something beyond that, it always raises an alarm. Yeah. Always cross-check these scholarships with the embassy or at the Ministry of Education and Sports, at the Department of Higher Education, Level 3, if I've not forgotten.
Yes.
They usually post those scholarships on their notice board. Please pass by and get more information about these scholarships.
While we've listed and named a number of places where you can go to access these scholarship opportunities, the list is not exhaustive. We are always going to be making research, and we shall be updating the list in case of any authentic and credible opportunity out there. And so, guys, while we've named the places where someone can go to, still one might be wondering, what do I need to apply for these scholarships? Yeah, the list of documents, what papers do I need?
So you found the scholarship, you've read through the criteria, and now it is time to prove that you are ready. And what makes you ready is the documents. One, you need a valid passport. And if you do not have, apply early to avoid like getting the scholarship opportunity, and then you don't have the passport. That rush can inconvenience you. You need your academic documents, the A level, and the names on your academic documents should be matching with the names on your passport, even the date of birth.
You need to make sure your documents are correct, because some of those issues will not cause you problems here in Uganda, but once you go abroad, these are people who do not know you, so your documents need to be very accurate. The information needs to be matching, so that no one is thinking this person is a fraud, or they are not who they say they are. They have taken someone else's place. The other thing you need to look at once you figured out this is a lot of these scholarships require that you have some recommendations. So make sure you either talk to your teachers ahead of time and they write you these recommendation letters, but sometimes the scholarship bodies want to talk to the people, your recommenders themselves. So you need to talk to your teachers, get their contacts, or people that you think would be good recommenders for you. Get their contacts, get their emails, get them to write you those recommendation letters for you.
Don't just get recommendation letters from your friends. Yeah? Get from your mentors, from your supervisors, like people who inspire you. Yeah? You cannot get a recommendation letter from a friend who you go out and hang out with, because it could be not so inspiring. Find professional people, at least people who inspire you.
And the funny thing also about the recommendation letters is that these bodies sometimes require that you have the organization domain, like those domain emails. So most of your friends will not have it. If they say we want a recommendation letter from your teacher has to have the school domain in their email. So they will not be accepting those personal recommendations from your friends. And sometimes you want someone that is going to speak positively about you, that knows you, knows your strengths, knows your weaknesses, someone that's going to sell you to these bodies and put you in a place that you're really deserving of that opportunity.
And also some scholarships need motivation letters. So if you're there and one day you're hoping on looking for a given scholarship, I would advise you to please start practicing now how to write recommendation letters. You can visit different websites, or you can watch different people on, for example, YouTube. People teach you, or they speak about how best you can write a recommendation letter. So you can utilize all those platforms, so that one time or that day when you're applying and they request for a recommendation letter, you can write one good one that will help you earn that scholarship.
And when it comes to motivational letters, I know most of you are thinking of Chat GPT or AI. Please sit down and think, because these scholarship bodies will read your paper and they're like, this is AI. You can literally tell the difference between AI writing and personal writing. It really differs. Take your time. At least first write down with your brain. Think. And then go to AI, maybe to polish a little bit, but do not rely entirely on AI.
And the thing I always tell people about their motivational letters is like, this is the one thing someone has to read and they get to know you and they feel very convinced you are deserving of that opportunity. Someone has to read your motivation letter and they know something about Imi. This is what Imi drives Imi. This is what motivates Imi. Or there has to be something about your motivation letter that moves that person. And AI sometimes is not able to do that because it's not human.
Yeah.
So that's why we're asking you, write your motivational letters yourself. And because we promised to walk the scholarship journey with you. If you have any questions about your motivation, how to write motivational letters, you can send them to our inboxes. DM us on Instagram, on Facebook, on all our social media platforms, and ask us to guide you at Scholars Path Africa on all our social media platforms.
Some scholarships might need one to provide a proof of a language proficiency. This can be done in various ways. One, some universities offer a test on reaching that side, while others will require you to provide a letter which is being given by separate bodies. This include IELTS, TOEFL, etc.
Sometimes it's also sufficient that you provide proof that you are fluent or have studied a number of years in the language that's going to be used during lessons to the universities you're going to be applying to. And to do this, you need to go back to the schools that you studied from and ask those schools, if it can be your secondary school, if you're coming straight from secondary, ask your school, your head teacher to write you a letter that says, you know what, she's been a student at our school for probably 4 years, and the language of instruction in our institution has been English, as it is a language of instruction in schools in Uganda. That is sometimes very sufficient, and it's also proof that you're proficient in English or whatever language the schools that you're applying to require you to understand.
While preparing for the scholarship journey, I would advise you create a dedicated scholarship folder. Maybe have a list of these documents, have the physical one and the one on the digital, the one on your phone. Every document you get, put it in the physical folder and then scan it, put it in the digital folder. These versions, these letters, documents will save you from the panic when you're applying for the scholarship, when you land on that opportunity you've been looking for.
And also the reason why it's important to also have your documents or scanned in your email, in your drive, like have them a digital version of your documents. Sometimes you go to a certain scholarship and probably when they listed the requirements, they forgot a certain document. So you don't carry it with you. But then when you get there in person, the person you're meeting who is going to take your documents and creating this file for you suddenly asks for a certain document that you do not have. So now you start to panic, thinking, how am I going to go back home to pick the document and come back? But if you have it on your phone, usually they're always printing places nearby. You just have to go out, print it, make a copy and give them.
And you can always just email to that person.
Email it to
we are
them
living in
also.
a digital world now. Yeah.
True.
Before one starts to look for any given scholarship, there are certain things that you need to put in order. One, your grades must be good. Scholarships are very competitive, and every given scholarship has a given cutoff point that they need. Therefore, for you to earn yourself a given scholarship, you need to have good grades. Good grades will help you to compete favorably because scholarships are very, very competitive. And they also And they also make it easy for people to recommend you.
While I understand the excitement one has after applying for a scholarship, you're already imagining the life in the new country or wherever you've applied, but expect rejections. And when a rejection comes, you learn from it. Find out, why was I rejected? Was it my documents? Was it my grades? Work on that so that the next time you're applying, you're spot on.
The scholarship journey also involves a lot of walking. We've started out today's episode by telling you the different offices you're going to have to go to. That involves a lot of walking. So you're going to be walking to a lot of these offices. One of the things you need to keep in mind is try to be as polite as possible. Be very polite when you're talking to these people, because sometimes you walk into someone's office and if you're not polite, they just chase you out. Right there, you've noticed it.
Someone is already tired. It's a Friday. They want to go for the weekend and you're walking into their office.
You need
You're
to be
very rude.
polite. You're going to these scholarship opportunities, these scholarship interviews. Treat them like you're going to a job interview. Dress like you're going to a job interview. Do not go walk into someone's office. You came to look for a scholarship. Then you're wearing jeans and then some sneakers and some t-shirts.
With your knee
those Crocs. Yes, those knee gainers. Please, those are the things that someone looks at you and right away they think this person is not serious. They do not want this so much. So they just think, okay, you don't deserve this opportunity. You should go. But that's it. And so do not be shy also. It's going to require a lot of confidence. Don't be the person that wants to walk with the crowd. I don't want to go to that person's office. How am I going to talk to them? You need to be very confident. This is an opportunity that you want. You have to go have that tough conversation with the person having that opportunity for you to get it. So do not be shy. Be polite, do not be shy, be smart, be confident, walk to these people's offices, knock on their doors, and they are willing to listen. And sometimes people think it's all just about your grades. Sometimes it's also how you carry yourself. That someone thinks, okay, this person is probably deserving of this opportunity. That thing we said, if they don't give it to you, they'll recommend you to another person.
Let your presentation at least be the reason you're getting that scholarship. Okay, maybe the scholarship people will be like, okay, maybe the grades are lacking, but he's a good person. He presented himself very well. He was very confident.
He was polite.
Yeah, because what maybe we need to tell people that some scholarships, okay, not all, might require you to do an interview. And still interviews, people present themselves. So you have to be able to present yourself better than anyone else for you to qualify to get a given scholarship. Yeah, so be ready to present yourself. And also, scholarships require some good effort. You need to apply again and again. You know, we've listed all these many places where you can go to get these scholarships. So you can apply to all. There's no wrong in that. Apply again and again till when you get that scholarship. And I believe you can and you'll get it.
Sometimes it can be by luck or it can be by being smart, but most times it is being consistent.
You also need to make sure you're always updating your documents. Always keep updating. If like last time you applied, you had one recommendation letter, another scholarship is going to come ask for 2 or 3. Make sure now you have those 3 recommendation letters with you ready for any other scholarship that comes. If it's your CV, keep updating it. Keep picking up skills along the way of your scholarship journey and keep updating your scholarship. Keep updating your documents. If you did certification for another scholarship and maybe they asked you, oh, we need your documents to be translated in this language, keep a copy for yourself for any other scholarship that you come across. So keep updating your documents.
I'm also encouraging you to follow different platforms like the embassy websites, the Ministry of Education website, also Scholars Path Africa. On our social media handles, we shall be posting opening and closing dates for different scholarships. At the end of the day, these opportunities aren't just about studying abroad. They're about gaining knowledge that builds Uganda. So I advise you to stay ready, stay consistent, and when your chance comes, you'll already be prepared.
Thank you so much for listening. And if this episode has been helpful to you, remember to share it with a friend or anyone that's hoping to apply to a scholarship or is hoping to earn themselves a scholarship. Share this episode with them. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Scholars Path Africa. DM us your questions. We shall be answering them at the beginning of our next episode, or we shall dedicate an entire episode to just answering those scholarship questions for you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bye.